Fired from last job, but I got the last laugh. Pardon the format. I am on mobile. I worked at a retail chain that sold pet supplies and products. When I started working there, it was great. Family owned, and everyone I worked with was fantastic. The owners eventually wanted to retire and sold the small chain to an investment group. Once the investment group took over, almost all but a few employees were let go, forced out, or just quit. I hung on for a little while longer before I got promoted at my other job. New company brings in new manager to my store. My store was the top performing store in the entire chain, bringing in about $10,000 minus $12,000 per days on average. It was always more on weekends and especially around the holidays. The new manager is a Mr. Company man. Company told him they only want employees around for 2 to 3 years. Myself and 2 others had been there 10 plus years. So naturally he began ruffling feathers and giving us all a hard time. Unfortunately, he decided on me first. Mr. Company man found out I work 2 jobs. The 2 jobs are not in related fields, so there was no chance of any conflicts of interest on my end. However, my second job requires me to work nights and weekends. When Mr. Company man found this out, he demanded I work nights, weekends there. So it was fair for everyone. I didn't work nights and weekends there because I was that store's only OSHA certified forklift operator. And deliveries didn't come at night. They came weekday mornings. Every day. Mr. Company man didn't want to hear that, and told me I either had to work nights and weekends, or that day would be my last day. I told him, "Don't threaten me with a good time. I suppose today is my last day then." I was pretty pissed about that. But it's not a big deal now. Ended up being the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I went home early. Didn't finish my shift. Because fuck 'em. But when I got home, I decided to call my local OSHA inspector and report them for not having a certified operator on staff, as well as numerous other hazards. Needless to say, they lost close to 3 weeks' profit from all the violations the inspector found. I was surprised they even showed up. In my state, the inspector will call you back after an inspection and tell you if your claims were founded or not. Mine were. And Mr. Company man got his ass chewed out so bad he ended up quitting. TLD, or job fires only OSHA certified forklift operator. I call OSHA and report it. Company is fined up the ass. New manager quits. Edit. Wow. I didn't expect his to really get any attention. Thanks all for the awards. To add a bit more, after I was fired, it really motivated me to get my behind in gear and get back in school. Working as a stationary engineer now. Thanks everyone. Edit 2. Wow, this really blew up. I am editing again to make a few clarifications. My state does not have a forklift license, it's really called a powerlift operator's license. The license needs to be renewed every 4 years. There are 7 classes of powerlift here. I was certified in 1 through 6. Class 7 being any lift equipped with pneumatic tires, which I would never have needed to use, because ours was a Class 5. There is no federal regulation, standard, or language that requires certification to my best knowledge, but my AHJs, authority having jurisdiction, are allowed to make regulations and standards that are more stringent than federal ones. These standards and regulations are typically enforced by local Department of Labor office or OSHA office. Thanks all. The funny thing is the OSHA certification course, at least in my state, is insanely easy. 4 hours of video and instruction. An easy written exam and an exam with the forklift where you move a couple things around. But that dick manager couldn't be bothered with training anyone else. Brilliant move on your end. Some people don't realize that going after some people would end up resulting in a levy of fines and repercussions from people further up the corporate ladder being brought down. I haven't been a manager often, but the times that I have been, I've always tried to befriend and get knowledge about everything from them. They've been there and seen things others haven't. They've seen things work and things tried and failed. Sorry to hear but awesome compliance revenge. Wish I would have done something similar when I left my factory job. Why didn't they want people working there longer than 2 to 3 years? Sounds like an odd policy if you want good committed employees. Investment groups that buy property and stores are the worst trash on earth. Everything is about dollars for them. They never factor in anything else. Simple and effective. Never fuck over your only OSHA qualified employees. I work with heavy equipment at a warehouse. Front rider, mid rider, stand-up helos, order picker, floor scrubber, and a normal forklift is the only thing I'm not certified on that we use. Seeing how even people who are trained on it can still mess stuff up. I don't want to think about someone with no experience just winging it and breaking all the things. I don't understand why so many D-bags threaten critical workers with good times. Hasta la pizza. Glad for you op. Don't mess with the guys who's been there more than a decade. I had the same thing happen to me. The company was having employees ride the forks of the forklift up to the 3rd level shelving in the warehouse, 20 feet up or more, to get stuff off. They were dicks to me when they let me go, so I called OSHA. They showed up and the shit hit the fan. Short but sweet. There's nothing quite like seeing a dickhead manager take careful aim and shoot himself square in the foot. I was pretty pissed about that. But it's not a big deal now. Ended up being the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Excellent mindset to have. So many people focus on the door that closes. They don't think to look for the one that opened. Looking back, it's interesting. There are more than a few times that something happened that knocked me off the course I wanted, only to discover, in hindsight, that I was bumped on a better, albeit different, course. Let's go op. You put this dude in his place. You also put the company in their place too. Nice. Good man. Niece. I used to work at a large retail chain, now mostly gone. Large letter Mart. The warehouse guys kept telling me to ask for forklift training, as sometimes big things needed moving at night. Manger didn't want to spend the dollar on training, or as I found later, the additional pay I would get for being forklift driver. A few months later, both the day guys quit. They had gotten jobs at new general purpose warehouse that paid much more than our chain did. This left the store without anyone certified to drive the forklift, except the general manager. So he's in the warehouse all day moving stock and unloading trucks. Then in the office all night doing GM paperwork. Why didn't they send me to training? I'd already put in my notice, as I was joining the military. Don't fuck with a certified forklift operator. They will most certainly fuck you harder and more passionately and sexier and with unnatural stamina and until you can't walk without corrective surgery. In a similar vein, Big Co gives notice they're going in a new direction for their technology and the department. Contract is not going to be renewed for Q1. So turn in your laptop, stapler, and Dixie cup. BC hands me an absolute rubbish severance agreement with this gem in their boilerplate non-compete clause. Can't work in the same kind of position you are now for any company that manufactures, warehouses, or sells a product. We rejected it because it was too broad. You can't ban your friendly neighborhood IT Spider-Man from working for another company that sells stuff. Director, but, you know our business process and company secrets. You have to comply with our demands requests. Me. No. I know about some publicly available programs and workflows that are industry standard. IT is not involved in the sales side of the business beyond making the systems work. They begrudgingly clarified the contract to their specific widget-involved industry. But I still haven't signed. Due to a sudden need to work from home and not make any contact with anyone at the office due to caring for Rona-afflicted family members.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.